that one. That's a sad thing. I hope people see that. What you have to do is step outside yourself and say, when I get in a chat room and they're hating on Mr. X, do I then kind of jump on that and start hating with them, like pack mentality? Or do I ask, what did Mr. X really do? Shouldn't I find that out first and then run that past my little filter of what's right and wrong and see if he really did wrong? Maybe I ought to ask Mr. X directly what he did and see if he's got a counterclaim on this story. This is what the thinking mind does. The typical weak groupthink mind just falls in with the crowd. Whatever they say, wherever they are, just falls in with the crowd. This is part of what created Nazi Germany. It was very easy to get soldiers and German people alike on board, you know, and it's a complicated story. I'm oversimplifying now, but it took a groupthink mind. And once you get everybody thinking along with you, you can pretty much command them to do what you want to do. Not going to be a lot of dissent there because in this respect, this is one of McKenna's, when his quote would apply, the cost of sanity in that case, when there is insanity everywhere, is alienation. You'd be singled out, you'd be questioned, you'd be harassed, you'd be tortured, and eventually expelled from the Nazi Party, unless you went along with the groupthink. But don't ever go along with a group, my friends, unless you've examined their policies individually and not run them past what the rest of the group thinks. We'll talk about some psychological experiments later. Run them past your filters of what's right and what's wrong. And if something doesn't click right, smells fishy, you need to point that out and say, you know what, I wanted to join this group, but this, and this are keeping me out of it. That's why I just stay individual, because I find flaws with every group I look at. You know, if it doesn't represent you perfectly, you're either going to melt into it, meaning you're going to compromise, or you're going to stick to your guns and you're not going to fit. So there goes McKenna's quote again. But that's for groupthink. That's getting into a group. And there's a price to not caving. There's a price. And I'll pay that price all day long. I am individual. I am a solo here. I will compliment Guy Shea because of his talent. I will compliment Debbie Daly, as I always do, for putting together good panels, usually. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it's not, but who has a perfect show all the time? I do not disrespect Stabby when he's questioning Debbie, because Stabby's being logical and reasonable. You can change my mind, Stabbies of the world. You can come in with evidence, and you can change my mind on a given point. But you got to have strong evidence. Got to be from a reputable source. If you don't have that, then I'm going to think you're arguing more from emotion than you are from evidence. And that's going to send me into an area that's not as interested in what you have to say as far as making a point. One thing we humans tend to forget is I don't know, just say half because it's easy. We're half emotional, half logical. And it's almost impossible, even when you're thinking about math or fucking spatial relations, to completely keep emotion out of it. Emotion creeps in. It's like a weird chemical fuzzy thing that you don't even know is there. You know, if your dad was a mathematician and you hated your dad, you may end up hating math. Math didn't do shit to you. You know, it's just we don't think about emotion affecting our ability to be reasonable and logical. We don't think about it, but we should think about it. You know, I know if I don't have my coffee, I'm going to be a little bit irritable. I'm not going to want to talk to people early in the morning. I'm not going to really want to listen on any depth. And basically, if you talk to me in my first hour of being awake on a given morning, I'm not really going to comprehend what you're saying. My brain's not kicking yet. It's a slow starter. Once it gets fired up, yes, it's burning some fucking glucose, but it's a slow starter. So, but I can also account for that when I go into that first half hour and Stranger Y comes up talking to me and I'm starting to feel irritable. I don't snap at Stranger Y. I say, Kevin, you haven't had your coffee yet. Listen as best you can. You're going to forget all the shit she's saying right now, but just go ahead and listen and drink your coffee. You know, you account for it. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't matter much to some people. Spreaker drama sells. People that do Spreaker drama are going to have a lot more listens than I am. See if I give a shit. I will not go that route. It's cheap. It's not productive. And go ahead and sell. Good for you. I'm sure you'll be rich and famous someday banging up on each other on Spreaker. I'm sure of it. I don't like to hear people beat each other up on Spreaker, but you know, sometimes I guess I don't know. I can't say anybody deserves it because I think people that go looking for a fight sometimes deserve it. It really depends on the situation. Really not interested in it. Hey, Stabby, welcome back. All right, I'll tell you what I'll do, you guys. We were talking about logic, reason, critical thinking, and we're going to play the rest of this clip called Worst Game Show Answers Ever. Just got a few minutes left on this, and it's fun, so let's go.
Why don't you eat something?
All right. Patty says the most infantile suggestion was that she shouldn't be so closed-minded.
I should be looser, you know.
You were loose enough that night.
What country has the highest ratio of doctors to population?
The country with the most Jews. I would say Israel. You have a doctor in every family. It's a cousin, could be an uncle, a couple of specialists.
I'll agree.
You agree with that?
It's Israel. He's right.
It is? Something you wash once a week. Claudia.
Yourself.
Yourself.
Something people close.
Legs.
Man of the world, traveled all over the world. Something Russia's famous for, Bob.
Russians.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name. You said frog. Our survey said 0. 2 people would have to say that. Something that comes with a summer storm. You gave me the answer. Snow. Our survey said... Remind everyone, to Bob's shame, the answers he gave us, and give me 20 seconds on the clock, please. Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Alligator.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name. You said alligator. Our survey said...
Gentlemen, other than popcorn, what is your favorite thing to nibble on at the movies? Steve?
I'm gonna get shot. Her boobs. I don't know if you...
Name a part of the body that gets bigger as adults get older. Freddie.
Penis.
Name something a man has that he'd be upset if someone else used it.
How about his jockstrap?
How many decades will your husband say his mother has lived? Gloria?
10 decades.
10 decades. Gentlemen, how many decades has your mother lived? Daryl, you have a troubled look on your face. What's the matter?
Oh, I don't know what a decade is. 44th birthday, so she'd be...
Good.
At 4 years a decade, she'd be 10 decades.
10 decades.
Something usually done only once a week.
Make love.
Tell me a slang term that means wife.
Bitch.
Oh, good answer. Name something you wouldn't want the police to find in the trunk of your car.
Pickles.
Name something a teenage boy can do for hours at a time.
Masturbate.
Something that has to warm up before you use it, sir.
How about your wife?
Mary Beth prayed for snow on her wedding day.
Yes, I did. It was 32 degrees and no snow on my wedding day, but I had 8 inches on my honeymoon. So.
Name a part of the body everybody has only one of. Sarah.
Big toe.
What will your husband say is his favorite thing to squeeze in the supermarket? Jane?
I'd say his meat.
Pardon me?
His meat.
Give me a slang name for policeman.
Dick.
What did you say?
Dick.
Okay. May we see what he said? Name a state that begins with the letter M.
Mexico.
After 100 people to name a game you could play in the bath. Annette.
Scuba diving.
Something your neighbor has you wish you had?
A beautiful wife.
Name a kind of bear. Harmon.
Papa Bear.
A papa bear, of course. Tell me a papa bear.
Name something London is famous for.
I'm thinking pasta.
Name a question such as, how old are you? Yeah.
18.
No.
I'm not 18.
You're not?
No.
You certainly fooled me. Just a second. I'm going to read the question. Name a question such as, how old are you? That you might answer with a lie.
I would say 50. Did I understand it right?
No, sweet Elizabeth.
I didn't understand it.
Give me another sort of question that you might lie about.
I would say I'm 39.
Now, what's happening here is these motherfuckers here aren't understanding the question. Groupthink is happening, and I didn't even know because I didn't pre-listen to this clip. We're watching it in effect, and it's easier to see either when people are drunk or when they're in a group. And here it is, they're having fun, they've kind of got their guard down, and everybody's jumped onto the same idea, which is incorrect. What is going on? Well, I'll play the rest later because I gotta, here's the thing, folks. I smoke the filthy cigarettes. I know it's stupid, but I like to go out and have one once in a while. I got 5 minutes and 19 seconds left on this particular game show answer segment, and I want to save that for my next 305 Indian cigarette, in which the Indians are trying to kill the white man in this country, and they will succeed. They're killing me slowly. Killing me slowly with his cigs. Pardon, burped, don't care. I'm sober, so I get a few freedoms that perhaps if I were drunk I wouldn't have. Yeah, coffee. God, I can't even tell you all about my coffee. Some of the things about my situation right now have to be guarded and others don't, so I have to, the 2 shows out of the last 3 that I did where I was drunk, obviously I didn't have much of a filter going there, so whatever came out, came out. You hear it. I don't delete my shit. But don't expect any more drunk shows from me. You might get 1 or 2 a year. They're fun. I mean, depending on your taste, but not really my thing. The Hangover is too high of a price for me, and it is nice not feeling, because when I get drunk, my back pain and knee pain are just about gone. I mean, they're down to a 1 on a 10 scale. But for one thing, that's dangerous because it could become very attractive to me as a pain management tool, and I'm not going to let that happen. The other thing is, when you come back from that the next day and you've got a hangover, it's a double whammy for reasons you already understand. So I don't like the price of the hangover. Don't like it. So I just avoid drinking too much. That's all. And so we probably won't have any drunk things going on. Let's pull up some things. I've got something I'd like to share with you guys. It's a link. And Stabby can analyze this. RD can analyze this. We'll see if you guys believe in it or not. PBS. I like PBS. I know they're probably a little bit center left. And they have a list out on Muslims. And it's basically factoids. I'm pretty sure I've got it. I thought I had it here. Where the fuck is it? Let's go caps. There we go. And this is from Frontline. Open link in new tab so I can get you guys the link. There we go. Now this is an FAQ, a fact, frequently asked questions on Muslims, and it doesn't have the date that it was published. But let me see if it's maybe down at the bottom. No, copyrights. Well, the copyright went through 2014, but that's probably website-wide, so this could be as old as 2008 or 2010, somewhere in there. But from what I've read, it's actually very informative, and it's one of the shortest informative reads you're going to find on Muslims. So it's silly to think they all want to kill you. It's not accurate. I mean, it's easy. It's easy if we can target all of one faith and put a crosshair on them, isn't it? It's not accurate, though, and it's not right, and you wouldn't want that done to you. So I don't know why people are okay with that. That kind of bugs me, but here it is. I'm going to share the link. And in case you guys didn't know, and this is stuff, people that want to believe that Muslims are the problem,